Welcome to the World Pension Summit. We're really pleased to be in The Hague over the next couple of days, and we're welcoming over 40 countries to get together to share best practices and to talk about innovation and the challenges and solutions for the global pension landscape. Well, thank you all for coming. This is the 7th edition of the World Pension Summit. Of course, the theme is managing rising risks.
That implies that we do face risks, and the greatest impact we do see and perceive as risk is the demographic developments of the world.
Really the awareness that what we are is one of the single largest, most important items. And I think the World Pension Summit does a terrific job in communicating that message beyond technocrats or industry stakeholders.
One of the key elements of these 2 days is interaction. So I hope you interact with each other.
It brings together a whole lot of pension executives from around the world, and it not only helps networking, but I think it gives us a sense that we are all facing similar, if slightly different, issues.
It's interesting to know what the Europeans are doing because in many respects they're further ahead in some areas.
Well, the key message was that the Danish system is actually very good. One of the reasons is that we started out early, so we have a lot of experience to share.
Pension plans and companies across the world increasingly recognize the risk that they are carrying on their books. The risk that people are living longer, that's the good news for most people, but it comes at a high cost to companies that sponsor defined benefit pension plans.
I mean, the workforce as a percentage of the total population began to shrink, and this trend will not be reversed in any time soon.
We see a lot of developments going on. So the first takeaway is that asset owners need to anticipate those systemic drivers going forward.
We certainly found some of the interesting talks to be informative. I think that spurred a lot of attention. The election in the US obviously was an interesting backdrop, so it got a lot of people talking.
Because of this election, it's an amazing world at the moment.
If you were planning on coming into Canada, and I understand the immigration website crashed.
And like many of you, maybe all of you, I'm very concerned about who did win and whether this person will take the country and the world in the right direction.
The main thing is we keep missing big events like Brexit, like the election of Donald Trump, for one simple reason. We literally look through the world through only one eye, which is the mathematical eye. And I'm saying open the other eye and look at the signals that are what you see around you and use qualitative information in addition to quantitative information to have a holistic view.
And what we're saying is there are investment decisions that have a very positive or a very negative impact on the real economy.
I'm trying to discuss with the audience and create a bit of a debate about how we can get the self-employed saving for their retirement, because self-employed in the UK is increasing massively, but actually most of them aren't saving for their retirement at all.
So that means a lot of people, like self-employed and temporary workers, going to stand outside the workplace pension. And I think that's where the challenges are.
And that brings pension funds, I think, in a very key position.
Our aim is to foster for a single market and to increase the cross-border activity in this field. This is our main messages.
So it was very interesting having that full range of issues and finding which ones are common between us and which ones are unique.
Especially the Dutch participants, because they see their pension fund moving out of the home country.
Oh, it's a great opportunity. There are so many people from so many countries. So it's not only the formal presentations, but it's also the opportunity to mix and mingle.
To listen to the other countries' idea to be the sustainable for the future generation.
It's important for us to learn from best practice or mistakes that have occurred in other countries. So bringing that together in a very open environment is very helpful.
It is wonderful. This is the second time I'm here. I always go back with great ideas, with lots of food for thought.
It's my great pleasure to come here to share my view about the Chinese economy, what's the risk, what's the potential opportunities.
In fact, more and more companies with different subsidiaries in Europe are looking for a way to manage more efficiently
their defined pension schemes.
I think there is in this low interest rate environment where everyone is trying to capture return, I think that this advantage that factor provide is definitely something of interest of pension funds.
And finding yield is something which is a bit of a challenge in the current environment, but the infrastructure asset class clearly can help to that.
The idea is that pension funds have long-term liabilities, and infrastructure projects like airports and toll roads represent long-term assets.
My friend here, Bill, said America's emerging market. I didn't say that.
I think government has a big role to play in terms of infrastructure, because government is actually the owner or sponsor of most infrastructure projects. So the regulations need to be right to give confidence to the investors.
Because politicians really govern the rules around how we're funded, and that could impact our sustainability.
Pension funds should take more active position and really act as the drivers of change for responsible investment.
George from Greece, you won an iPad.
Fortunately this year we have 4 different categories, and therefore we'll have a winner in each category. And in addition, we also have 2 special awards, 4 other named finalists, like standing on the podium at the end of the race. So your excellence has made us better. Thank you for that.
Like so many deserving countries, we have a new component of the awards program this year.
Congratulations once again.